why, what it keeps doing. And I even like deleted a bunch of stuff off of this burner phone and um, deleted the app and re-downloaded it. But it's just like won't let me go live on TikTok. It says I have to allow my phone camera to access TikTok, and then it takes me to settings, and there's uh, no button for it. So I don't know. I guess I'm not meant to be live on TikTok right now, which is weird. I know a lot of you prefer that, and I'm gonna miss the random people asking to see like my feet and stuff, or telling me that I'm going to hell. But we'll just have to make do without it, I suppose. So good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is now November and it is a balmy, like 70 degrees. Oh, what the oh. Yeah, no one ever asked to see my feet on Instagram. Lame. Um, I have the door open here. I drink my coffee outside. I have this hat on, not because I'm cold, but because my hair is an absolute wreck. I'm having one of those days. Like I woke up this morning and I was fine, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, I have so much to do," and I flipped out. So, coming back down from that, welcome to November. It is Scorpio season, and we're not in um, eclipse season. So that's a nice shift for me for my birthday month. And I'm kind of excited. I'm going to be 41 in 6 days. And my littlest baby, who is really not little anymore, is going to be 13 this weekend. I just bought him a size 10 men's shoe, which is so crazy. We can't share shoes anymore. Hey, babe. Hey, Chris. Haven't seen you in a minute. But yeah, November. Crazy. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling? It's also new moon in Scorpio, obviously. So we've got a lot of energies to tap into. How's it feeling? I'm really missing my third screen. To figure that out. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Becky. Hi, Christine. Yeah, tell me about it. I feel really tired today, too. Hi, Janelle. I'm sorry about TikTok. TikTok is not letting me do it again. New beginnings. Terrified, but I'm doing it. Good for you. Well, it is new moon energy today. So, a few housekeeping things. Let's think about this. What did I need to tell you? Normalized Magic Workshop. If you're planning to join us for season 7 of Normalized Magic Workshop, we reconvene on the 20th of November. I fully recognize that that is like the launch into holiday season. Don't worry about that. We will figure that out together once we have the group. But if you are interested in joining us for the next 12 weeks, starting on November 20th, send me a DM and I will give you a link that you can reserve your spot and we will go from there. I'm gonna miss you guys for the next couple weeks. It's always weird when we have the pause in between, but I'm going to Mexico on the 13th? I think I'm going to Mexico on the 13th. So I'm coming back and then we start. So I think I get back on the 18th. Yeah, get back on the 18th and we start on the 20th. So I'll be nice and tan and grounded, hopefully. And we will have just had a full moon. So we will get cracking on that together, see what the situation is where we live in this place, and go from there. All right. So let's get into the Scorpio new moon vibe, November vibe. Maybe take a minute and just ask yourself like what it is you particularly want to tap into for today. Is it the month of November? Is it new moon for you specifically that you want to tap into? Like you take a minute, think about that, and then let that apply. And I'm going to give you three things for your coffee and magic this morning, and it's going to be trees. It's going to be trees today. We're going to do an oak tree, a willow tree, and a birch tree. Oak tree, willow tree, and birch tree. Oak tree, willow tree, birch tree. Oak tree, willow tree, and birch tree. And like I said, take a minute, just ask yourself like what do I want to tap into? The whole month of November or just new moon vibes for me? They are good trees. The trees are looking pretty in my backyard. I have two willows. I have a cherry willow and just a a weeping willow. And the weeping willow was a little tiny baby when I moved in here. And it was so little, like it had like a stake, keeping it straight. And last winter, we had this like sudden ice rain frost situation. And then I woke up in the morning, it had like bent it over and broken the sticks. And I was like, oh my God. So I like ran out there and pulled it back up. It was freezing, broke all the ice off of it and put it back up. And now, like, she's big. In fact, I was this morning looking at her and I was like, look, you're big enough now that squirrels can climb into you and, be there, be in there, That's pretty cool. So I'm really proud of her. She's doing her thing. And I am a little disorganized in my energy today, but I'm actually doing really well. Okay. I'm just having a day, but like it's probably not gonna be the whole day. It's just I have a lot of things to do today. And I overwhelmed myself by realizing that I had to do them. You know what I mean? Um, but I will do them and it will be totally fine. It's no big deal. Okay, I'll take pictures of her and put it in my stories. Hello, hello. Your choices this morning, if you're just joining, you didn't miss it. Oak tree, willow tree, and birch tree. And we're just taking a second, like I said, to decide if you are wanting to kind of get insight on the whole month of November, or if you would like to just kind of stay focused in on the Scorpio new moon. Look at that. It's dragon. All right. So again, oak tree, willow tree, birch tree. Hi, Jen. And again, reminder, Normalized Magic Workshop reconvenes on the 20th of November. And you can grab your spot and save it for you by sending me a DM or an email, whatever is your jam. Unfortunately, I really cannot take, I've had a few requests for private sessions. I can't take any more private sessions and I feel terrible, but also it's just the season of life. I have a lot of one-on-ones at work now and I just can't do it and it's okay. Sometimes we can't do all the things, but such is life, right? But group is group and we do a lot in group. As one of my members said the other day, it's cheaper than therapy. but you're getting some. So, all right. Oak tree, willow tree, birch tree. Here we go with oak. All right. Tell me when you're ready, though. So, again, oak tree, willow tree, and birch tree. This is oak. Okay, here it is. Raven, spider, and the eagle. Like, what did you choose? Was it just new moon or was it the whole month of November? Because interesting, interesting either way. All right, so raven and the eagle. Now, if you're going to have, a couple birds jump in here and hang with you for a minute, these aren't too shabby, right? I mean, hawk is also great, but one could argue that eagle and raven is a pretty stacked deck. You're having a with the eagle and the raven, you have connection to your deep magic, you, and then you have connection to external magic, higher self, ancestor, collective. Okay. So you're really taking inner magic and connecting it with outer magic, creating that bridge. What's the bridge? I don't know. What are you making that bridges your outer knowing with your inner knowing? Really like focus on what I just said there because that's being emphasized to me. What are you creating that bridges your inner knowing with your outer knowing? How do you take the in and connect it to the out with a bridge? They're not the same thing. Do you see what I mean? There does need to be the bridge because you need to be able to go back and forth and also kind of stand in the middle and observe both. Does that make sense? Like they don't need to mesh necessarily, but they do need to partner and work together. And there's something that you can create or are creating. This could be a business, it could be a relationship, it could be a new way of thinking. And honestly, if like the new way of thinking is something possible for you, I would say like go for that first. You know what I mean? And a new way of processing, a new way of understanding the world around you is what is really being asked for here. Inner and outer knowing. So that is your oak tree. That was nice. Very cutesy. All right. Does everybody else just like always randomly have a song playing in their head and not the whole song, just one small part looping over and over again? And it's like I just have to kind of do what I'm doing while it's looping. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just always looping, just always there. Thankfully, it's not like a stupid song because that happens sometimes and it's like, oh my God. But okay, good. It is a symptom of ADHD as well. Um, but all of these things, I think, talking about inner and outer bridges, inner and outer bridges. Well, mine today is Night Shift by Lucy Dacus. So that's mine for today. As if I could get gayer, right? With my beanie and the Lucy Dacus song in my head. Uh, all right, willow tree is coming up. Again, your choices this morning are oak tree, willow tree, and birch tree. All right, you tell me, when you're ready for willow tree. I think I have a gorilla glue on my hand too. Okay, this is your willow tree. You have king, Merlin, goblin. Just throw that in there. I mean, I didn't throw it in there, but now if we're feeling numbery today, I think the numbers for this particular pool are interesting. Um, king is 3, Merlin is 1, and goblin is 31. Let's tuck in for this one, right? All right. So Merlin, the king, and the goblin. So Merlin and the king are an interesting way of reflecting your inner and outer magic of masculine energy. Merlin is going to be your masculine magic energy, and the king is going to be your physicality, your physical masculine energy that expresses to the outside world. Okay. Masculinity, the masculine, is undergoing a death right now. And even though the majority of my audience this morning likely identifies as female or as imbued with more feminine energy, sort of, we all have masculine energy within us that is going to need to be reprogrammed to align with a new idea of what masculinity actually is and what masculine energy actually is. Um, you can't help but have absorbed the patriarchal and capitalistic and oppressive energy of what masculine energy has become in this society. There's no way to have avoided that because it's everywhere. And there is not an alternative that has been provided to us from birth. We are the generation that has to provide that for the generations to come. So we have to deconstruct it within ourselves first and start to do that work in order to have a better understanding of what masculine energy actually is. Gender doesn't matter here. That's also a construct, a societal construct, right? That's something that you need in order to fit in to a prescribed societal unit. That's the one we use. We're like, well, you're a man, you're a woman, whatever. And it's very binary and it's very um, closed. It's a closed system. Put it that way. Let's put it that way. We're going from a closed system to an open system. Okay. And to do that, we have to look within ourselves to see where the closed system components reside. And your willow tree is asking you to look at the masculine aspects within yourself and see where that closed energy may reside. You might even find that it has to do with how you treat masculine energy or invite masculine energy into your life, right? You may not realize the masculine energy you have and the value that it has. You may be searching for a masculine energy in an external way and not necessarily need to be doing that, right? So there's inner reflection here. I hope that over the time of like being here in Coffee and Magic, I have at the very least imparted to you that the real magic here is in you having the ability to look at yourself, to see the parts that align with where you want to go and the parts that don't align with where you want to go, and doing the actual work of figuring that out, right? Like, it's not about the rituals It's not about the tools. It's not about the feathers and the crystals and all the beautiful magical accoutrement, right? What really matters here is what you do in here and how you feel in there. Everything else is a dressing. Everything else is an adornment. And it doesn't matter if what's inside has not been touched. So here first, right? So we're looking here first. Suzette's asking, would this be the same manifesting for action, masculine energy? Not today. Not today. This is really specific to finding places where the masculine energy is an older version and needing to kind of update that. And that is what the goblin is all about. You may have resistance when it comes to this because it's tied to so many other things, right? This is an invitation to dive deeper into that. There's no better time than to dive deep into Psyche than Scorpio season. So, and I love it. So, there you go. I hope that was specific enough, but also vague enough to give you lots to dive into. All right. Next up is birch tree. Again, your choices this morning were oak tree, willow tree, and birch tree. Hi, Theron. I've been thinking about you. I haven't seen you in a minute. Hi, Ron. Hi, Tara. All right. Oh, good. It's a good day to be off. All right. This is your birch tree. Tell me when you're ready. It's a different vibe for birch tree. So, lucky you. Deer, movement, and the wind fairy. As you can tell, this particular set of cards is moving. Okay. We know air don't stand still. So, what is happening here? Well, a lot. Think about, okay, how do I put this? Okay. You are in a ship. You're taking off on a voyage. Your ship is a sail boat. So it's got the big masts and it relies upon the power of the wind, right? And your ability to navigate. Your thoughts, your inside thoughts and your outer words, the way that you decide to perceive, create the wind that move your vessel. Okay? And in that, it means that if you stagnate in your thoughts and start cycling like this, you're not going to move, right? So if you notice that you feel stagnant, like you're not moving, like things are stuck, it's likely because you've gotten yourself into a thought loop. And so you're not generating forward momentum. How do you get out of the thought loop? It's usually the uncomfortable thought that gets you out. And why, when I say the uncomfortable thought, it's the one that interrupts, the one that's like, no, like Basically, when you get into a loop like that, as uncomfortable as that loop is, it's actually more comfortable than trying something new. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we get complacent and comfortable in our suffering, especially our grooves. Okay. So if this is something you've done for a long time in your life, you have a lot of experience and stuff in it. When you get into that loop, there's going to be a familiarity that feels safe to you. So even though it's like, I'm not moving, like stagnant, what the hell? It's also like, I'm not moving, stagnant, what the hell, right? So when you get into that, the antidote or the way to get the wind moving again is to find the thing that's out of your comfort zone and head that way in your mind. You are never actually stuck ever. You are just not in view of choices that feel doable for you at this time, right? You're not able to see desired choices. You can always do something. You can always make a choice, but your brain will find all the reasons why that choice cannot happen, right? Like, for example, I'm sitting here doing coffee and magic with you guys right now, right? I could get up wearing my pajamas, get in my car, and drive to upstate New York with no plan and never come back. I could do that. I could leave my whole life behind, right? That is a that is an option, right? It's an option. I can do that. I have the physical ability to get up and freaking do that. But does that make sense? No. Do I want to? No. Are there consequences to that choice? Absolutely. Will I like them? Probably not. Like, there's all these different things that go into it. But my point is, I can, and so can you. You just tell yourself that the rules and restrictions are keeping you in a spot. And some of those rules and restrictions are keeping you in a spot for a reason, and that's good, right? But you need to be able to discern when you are in an artificially created thought loop that's keeping you stagnant versus a construct within your own life that's allowing you to care for your kids and do all the things you need to do. So right now, you're in your ship, you're out on the water. Ask yourself this. All of you, ask yourself this. Are the winds moving you or are you still? What do you think? Do you feel the winds moving you or are you still? I'll wait. And this is for everybody, not just birch people. This feels like an everybody question. You're here in your boat. Are you still or are the winds moving you? So that says the winds are moving. Still, winds are picking up. Okay. Know that about where you are. And also, still isn't necessarily bad, right? Because think about it. If you are heading in any type of direction, right, you are going to need moments of still and then moments when the wind picks up. It's a contract and expand. And that is how life is. You get bigger and you get smaller. You get bigger and you get smaller, right? That's how you move. So you need a bit of both, right? And it's understanding during the still times, are you in a compression to expand or are you stuck in a loop? Because if you're still, and like we're not moving, that's your cue to kind of look at that. See what my limiting belief systems are. Why are we not moving? But a little bit of stillness is required for the movement that comes next. Okay. Again, it can happen otherwise too, right? You can be going way too fast and feeling like a little bit unhinged and out of control. And in that, you need a little stillness to recollect your energy. And that can be as simple as just disconnecting for a day or so and letting yourself feel your fucking face. You know what I mean? Like, hey, touch some grass, touch a tree, like maybe lay off the caffeine. You know what I mean? Like just whatever you need. But it's a mix. And then the deer is here. You may have been like, "Well, did she forget about the deer?" I didn't. The deer is here to give you some gentleness. Gentleness in the navigation of your journey. You don't have to grip the wheel so tight. You can trust the process here a little bit, right? Just gentleness towards yourself because as much as we love to create goals with endpoints, I think when it's all said and done and we're like done with this particular iteration on earth, we're going to look back and be like, how funny are we thinking that goals are the things we're heading for? It's really in between goals is where the life is lived, right? And not to say we shouldn't have them, we need them. Because if you don't have them, you don't set out on the journey that gets you the experience, that has the memories within it, that has you meet people that you wouldn't meet. Like, of course, you need them. Those are your marker points. But the marker points are not actually destinations, they're just ways to get you where you need to go so you can meet who you need to meet and have the experience that you need to have. So, let's like be a little gentle with ourselves generally speaking because shit is literally crazy right now. And I say that with the most profound literal impact I can mean. It's not an exaggeration. This world is falling apart, but you're not, so it's okay. All right. Happy Scorpio new moon. Welcome to November. I will see you. Oh my gosh, is this true? Will I see you on my actual birthday or no? When is my actual birthday? Is the 7th a Thursday or a Friday? What day is this day? Oh my God. I think it's a Thursday, right? Well, either way, I'll either see you on my birthday or right after my birthday, and I will be probably in a good mood. So we'll pull some cards about it, okay? Yeah. It'll be my first full day as 41, which I'm excited about because like 40 was great, but 41 feels like, oof, I'm in this, you know? Hope you have a great weekend and sending you lots and lots of love. Mwah! And I'll see you next Friday.